Hi, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your October 2021 new moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, just a note, my dog Esme is here with me, and she kind of snores like a person, so if you hear her snoring or chewing a bone in the background, just ignore the noise. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Gemini be affected by the October 2021 new moon? Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Okay. So let's turn over the cards. Actually, at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have the world, and we have the Emperor, which is Aries energy. Okay. If we have Aries within our natal chart, that's coming through very powerfully during this time, but also we have Mars coming through within the astrological alignment of this new moon, so that's going to be powerfully affecting us here. We can actually feel a little bit on edge and almost as if our temper has just been really short, really short during this time before this new moon. It's going to be a bit after this new moon. We can really just feel on edge with things, so we need to be mindful of that and just aware. We have the Nine of Earth, the Nine of Pentacles, being able to move forward towards bigger and greater and better things. We have the Craftsman of Water, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. We're calling something into our lives right now that might actually seem counterintuitive to what we want. It's like something is coming forward, but we know this change is happening. We can feel this, and that's again because of this new moon. Now, this new moon, I have to just state, is not here. We're not going to talk about this new moon to fearmonger, all right? This is a very intense, very harsh moon. It just is. It's one of the harshest new moons we have seen in quite some time. So this is going to be here to warn us, to help advise us to how to traverse this time, how to embrace what we want, how to, move forward in a way that is right and proper for us. But, it's here to give us guidance. So I want to just make that perfectly clear that this is not fear mongering. This isn't to make you feel more stressed. Everything is quite enough during these times that we don't need more added to our plate. But if we can be forewarned, that is forearmed. Then in our emotional self, we have the Strength card, which is Leo energy. If we have Leo within our natal chart, that's coming through very strongly. We have the Three of Cups, betrayal. For me, the Three of Cups is always betrayal. If I read it any other way, it's just wrong. The Five of Pentacles, poverty mentality. And the Seven of Cups, coming for what we wish for. It's interesting here. Now, we could have been betrayed by a Leo, All right, that could be something that we're dealing with, and we feel out in the cold because of that, but our dreams are still very much alive. That can very well be a very literal translation of things, but we also need strength because of betrayals, because we have put ourselves out in the cold so often and forgotten about our dreams. So that is also another way to really look at our heart during this time. We have the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles is prosperity and contentment, and they all live, happily ever after. It's generational wealth coming forward. We talk about generational curses. Well, this is a generational blessing. The Six of Cups is memories. It's being in the past. We can be a little bit nostalgic, very much thinking of the past, thinking of people from our past, people connected with our hearts, with our souls, with us that might not be here, because there is this sense of generational blessings coming. And I really do feel here that it's coming from people who have passed on. If we haven't known any of our relatives or any of our loved ones who have passed on, this is very much a sense of us being connected with memory. And memory is here not to keep us small and held back, but to help us achieve our bounty and our greatness. And we're going to see ourselves releasing so much of what has been holding us back and denying us. Now let's look at the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. So we have, oh goodness, we have the Princess of Pentacles. This is earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is also really letting money be our main deciding factor during this time. I'm not at all saying that money isn't important. Only people who have always had money and who have always had things come rather easily to them would say that. This is something to be mindful of here, though. If we put money before everything else, we're going to see that it wounds us in one way or another. We're going to see that things didn't work out in the way that we thought they would. We're also going to be very drawn to people who are very driven, who are very focused. Excuse me. And they will put the financial value of things before the emotional value. And that is something that is going to be hard for us during this time. Now our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, is holistic health. Now I love this, especially for this time, because it is such an intense time. We're talking about our root chakra. We're talking about our root connection. With holistic health, it's saying embrace your heart, your soul, yourself. Fall into alignment with who you are and with where you're headed. So when we embrace holistic health, we start to look at ourselves in a different way. We start to say, what does my body need? What is my soul craving? Why is it that I'm stressed out? Or why is it that I'm overwhelmed? And if we can come into this new moon with astoundingly positive energy, with high energy vibration, with even just an awareness of who we are and what we want and what's important to us and what isn't important to us and where it is that we want to be, all of a sudden we change so much of the power this moon can have over us. So holistic health is also connecting us with the earth, with what we love within our lives, with what we need within our lives, with how we're moving forward and what we're moving forward towards. Connecting with the earth, going out barefoot or in barefoot shoes, connecting with the energy of the earth, connecting with the energy of us, eating not processed foods would be very beneficial to us during this time. So let's start talking about this new moon in Libra, which says a new romantic cycle begins, which is absolutely beautiful. Actually, the most beautiful thing about this new moon is that it's in Libra. This is, with Libra, when it says a new romantic cycle begins, we start to fall in love with life in a different way, in a more authentic way for us. It brings harmony and balance and a strong sense of partnership. With this moon, this is the first new moon of fall or spring, depending on where you are in the world. And we're connected. The sun, the moon, Mercury, Mars are all clustered around Libra during this time. And so we feel connected to something greater. This is very empowering, intense energy. With the sun conjunct the moon, with this new moon, it's the end of a 28-day cycle and the beginning of another. There's a burst of energy and initiative, and this is usually the best time to start something or to end something, to get things off the ground or to calmly wrap things up or to just enthusiastically wrap things up. But this moon is different. This moon is just going to be different. And so it comes with caution. The new moon is conjunct Mars. It is so important, once again, to come to this new moon with a high energy vibration. To also understand if this moon has gotten to us even before it comes to its apex in the sky, that we feel that we are in harmony, balance with ourselves, or at least that we call out, wow, I'm in a for lack of a better word, pissy mood. Like, I'm aggravated, I'm upset, I'm morose, I'm, macabre, and I don't know why. This is out of my normal way of being, or even if this is part of our normal, ebb and flow of moods, we have to be able to call this out, because we have to be able to own our own energy during this time. Because this combo gives us powerful energy, it gives us courage, it gives us initiative, but we have to use it wisely. Because if we don't, if this energy is not recognized, it can lead us to devastating consequences. We can become hot-tempered, we can become a bit cruel, we can just start to see things deteriorate around us. This powerfully charged energy can lead us to irritation and aggression. It can also lead us to just a sense of not feeling comfortable in our own skin. This is a time to step back. This is a time to sip chamomile tea, to embrace homeopathy, to take chamomile, let it dissolve under your tongue, to do whatever it takes to have us calm and centered, meditate, yoga, whatever we need to feel at one within our bodies, going on long walks, and just, again, calling ourselves out when we don't feel at harmony with ourselves. This is a time to take those calming herbal brands of Calms or Rescue Remedy. I'm not affiliated with them at all. I just really like them and have used them for quite some time. The new moon quincus Uranus, okay? This combo does not calm things down. It actually adds nervous tension and anxiety to this time. We can feel like there's a change we just can't stop. It's almost as if something is coming, and it's not like ready or not, here it comes in that kind of good, excited sense. It's like ready or not, here it comes, and just be ready for it. There's something that is coming here. It's more intense, it's more powerful than you realized. We have to make time for relaxation and for self-care. We have to make sure during this moon that we remember that we matter. Don't rush into anything, okay? Seriously, don't rush into anything. Because Mars is going to be quincus Uranus. Now, what this brings is, again, this brings anxiety and nervousness and, just a sense of stress. We find ourselves losing our patience, and we just need to act. Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, we're going to be like, I need to act, I need to do something. We are also going to be rather rebellious. Now, whether we are rebellious by nature, but especially if we're not, we're going to find that we just need to rebel. We just need to do something for the sake of rebellion. And it could be something rather harmful. It's like, I'm not going to do my work anymore. I'm not going to uphold my responsibilities, which hurt us, but we're rebelling. We're rebelling maybe against always being the person that can be relied on. We're rebelling against, whatever. We have to be mindful of it. Or we're just rebelling for the sake of rebelling. We could feel like we're 16 again, and just rebelling. And again, if we have never embraced a rebellious streak within us or a rebellious attitude, we're going to think, what, now's the time. Now's the time to do so. I've been so good for so long. This is not the time to embrace any rebellion. All right, or not any rebellion, but rebellion just to see things changing. Sometimes if we need to rebel against something because it's harmful and toxic for us, that's one thing. But we need to be focused on our long-term goals. We need to be focused on what we desire, because our rebellion during this time can really lead to hurting those long-term goals and what we really want. Now, the new moon and Mars are aligned with the constellation of Carvus the Crow. And this constellation doesn't help us. The stars don't add any calming energy. And I know this is this feels like such a doomsday reading, and I don't like that at all. Actually, this isn't what I expected when I looked at everything. So it's a hard reading to bring forward, but you have beautiful cards here. So we have to remember that, Gemini. All right. The star Carvus the Crow. All right. The best side of it is that it has ingenuity. That's the word I'm looking for. And passion. I mean, nobody's going to put Carvus the Crow in a box at all. He wants to do his own thing, fly his own way. But those are the best traits. Ingenuity and passion. It's also known, this constellation is also known for bringing greed, dishonesty, vengefulness, spitefulness, selfishness, aggression to ourselves and others. So, again, the best aspect of this new moon is that it's in Libra. It's the beginning of a new romantic cycle. It's the beginning of falling in love, because we're seeing all the muck in the mire. We're seeing the underbelly of it all. And we're going into things with our eyes wide open, or our eyes widely opened. Now, the fixed star Algorba, there we go, is located within the constellation of Carvus the Crow. Now, this is known as the kill or be killed. There we go. Attitude. This is known as the kill or be killed star. And that's harsh. That is absolutely harsh. So watch your back. Don't trust people. That's so terrible to say. Don't trust people. But watch your back. Make sure you're trusting people that, you've always been able to rely on. But make sure that you're also trusting yourself. Because there's this energy here of, I don't get ahead. Or if you get ahead, that means I don't. And so we have to be really mindful of that. We have to be really mindful of ourselves, what we desire, where it is that we're moving to, and what it is that we want. That's why we need to focus on our holistic health. Who are we holistically? Who are we naturally, powerfully? What is it that we desire? Because if we start making other things what we worship, what we want within this world, what we are mainly going to focus on, we're going to find that slips through our fingers. The world opens to us, though, during this time, which it sounds so weird, because the alignment of this moon is so intense, it's so powerful, and yet the world is saying, I'm here for you, I'm open to you. Embrace me, and I'll embrace you. Walk through, stand tall, stand proud within yourself. And that's going to be a very important thing for this time, for us to stand proud within who we are, within what we want, within what we desire for ourselves and for our life. We're entering into a new season, quite literally, because this is the first new moon of fall or of spring, again, depending on where you are. And this is going to be a time where we see that changing. We see that change coming forward. And it's making us look within ourselves, quite honestly, quite openly. And it brings us to the Emperor. Now, Aries energy and Mars are completely aligned because Aries was renamed Mars, right? When Greek mythology got taken over by Roman mythology. And so here we have the sense of claiming a throne, claiming our power, claiming our voice, but also our blood is boiled. And that's why we're going to be looking at this world just kind of with a sense of my blood is boiled. Like, I'm already on edge. I'm already intensely kind of ready for a fight and intensely aware of what I want, what I need, and where I need to be to get what I want done during my reign, right? During the Emperor's reign. And we're going to think there isn't time for mucking around. There isn't time for fooling around. There isn't time for laughter. There isn't time for fun. It's time to get things done. That's what we have to be worried about. All right. And it sounds so odd because this can really make us excel in the workplace. It really can, because we'll just do what we need to do in order to get ahead, not caring about anybody else. And it sounds terrible. It really does sound terrible. But it's almost like, you know what? I need to get to where I need to be. Period. End of discussion. Anybody in my way, I'm going to trample over them. So we have to curtail that. We really do. We can use that a little bit. We can, because it would be helpful to not go into things naively. But we need to curtail the anger, the frustration, and this kind of, again, kill or be killed, which is really coming from the fixed star Agorba, which is saying, you know what, you have to do it. You have to go after what you need, because if you don't, somebody else will. So we have to put things into alignment. This is going to be a time where we can see and honor, our way forward and say, yes, this is what I need. This is what I don't need. This is where I need to be. This is where I don't need to be. But we also need to honor within ourselves that we're opening to the world, or the world is opening to us. We're starting to see ourselves taking a step more into the world that we want to live, into the passion that we have, into what we desire from our lives and from our souls and from ourselves. And as we do so, we are going to see ourselves moving forward. We're going to see that there's a time to celebrate. The 9 of Earth, the 9 of Pentacles, is this time of celebration before, the harshness begins, before, having to pull in all the crops, having to do all the work. And this is a time that we have to enjoy who we are, where we're going, what we want. And it can sound, again, so counterintuitive to everything that's going on, everything that this new moon brings, but it's going to be so powerfully and rightfully us. And so we open up this door, and we're being told here to celebrate and to call forward what we want. Because if we don't call forward what we want, if we don't take time for ourselves, if we don't make time for ourselves, if we don't, embrace who we are and what we love within life and say, world, this is me. This is also going to be a time where we could find that we were embarrassed about things about us, thinking, oh, that's not fitting into cultural norms or societal norms, or, people are going to laugh at me, or, I can't like what I like because what will everybody think? Now it's time to say, I'm calling forward my blessing. I'm calling forward my success. I'm calling forward my bounty. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people think, because I'm making it rain. I'm bringing the wealth. I'm bringing the prosperity. I'm bringing the bounty to me. And that's where we have tremendous strength coming in. Now, again, we might have to be mindful of Leo energy during this time. This could just be, watch your back. Watch your back, because the this energy can really embrace. Fire sign energy during this time is really going to embrace that kill or be killed mentality, that sense of just go for it, go after what you want, destroy what you need to, and let the fire burn. But every single sign can do that, right? So we can have winds that just topple things down, right? Tornadoes can be gotten from air, or tunnels of air. We can have the earth open up in an earthquake. We can have torrential rains from water signs, from water. So every single element has its cruelty to it. We just have to be mindful of that, and that's actually what we're being told here. Be mindful of the corruption of others, but be mindful of the strength of our own hearts and of our own souls and of what we want, and of unity instead of pitching one person against the other. The unity of, this is what I love, this is what I need, this is the most valuable, important thing to me, and we're going to rally around this in order to succeed, in order to achieve, in order to move forward in that success that we love and we want. There's this sense of betrayal coming up, like somebody who holds secrets, somebody who was supposed to celebrate you but couldn't. And again, this is how I always see the Three of Cups. So whenever I try to read it as celebration and happiness and joy, it comes out the exact opposite, and that has always been very annoying. But this is also a sense of strength within ourselves, as our hearts look at the betrayals that we have been through, look at the hurts that we have been through, and we can almost feel like we were forgotten, like our voice has been ignored for just so long, and that's frustrating. And what we're going to find here is that we start to look at the power the moon has in our lives, but the power also of change, that 28-day cycle, that change of heart and soul and self and mind and spirit and understanding that the people who betrayed us, they're on their journey, and they get to look at, see, and understand themselves, and we get to look at, see, and understand ourselves. And the hurt or the hatred of others do not get to be the way that we define ourselves, because those can be some of the memories that are coming up. The memories of you're not going to be anything. The memories of you're not as talented as XYZ. The memories of you're not as pretty or as handsome as XYZ. You're not going to get to where it is that you want to be. And it's so funny because people say these things, these hurtful, hateful things in passing. And some can just think that they're being funny. But they stick with us. They wound us. And people say children are resilient. And they are, because they have this tremendous ability to fight. But all the scars that we acquire start in childhood. And so here we're going to see that a lot of the scars that we carry and a lot of things that are coming up during this time, they're coming from childhood. It's coming from this sense of being ignored, or this sense of having to work so much harder than everybody else, or, being bullied, or whatever it was, whatever our drama was, it's going to be coming up now in a very real way. And we have to look at it and holistically, lovingly embrace who we are. And it's so interesting because we have a generational blessing coming in the public arena. In our hearts, we have a generational curse, right? We have the poverty mentality, which, what is a curse? A curse is negativity spoken over us that seeps into our body, seeps into our soul, seeps into our mind, and we kind of replay it over and over again when we failed, when we stumbled. And life is about failure and stumbles. It's not about success 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's about doing things wrong. It's about being laughed at and mocked and thinking, oh my gosh, if I could just disappear right now, I absolutely would. And this is the time where we look at those moments in our lives and we say, why am I using that as my touchstone, as my basis, as the way that I define myself? This is a time where we can find that we are so tremendously strong, Gemini. But it's a time that the strength has come through having the piece of iron put into the forge, and having it hammered out, having the flaws and the imperfections and the hurts and the pains hammered out, because we're seeing them so clearly now. And we look at the generational curse. We look at this sense of poverty that was passed down from one generation to another, that was taught to us by a caregiver, a parent, even a teacher, or, a friend. And we start to look at it and say, why? Or even a lover that we had, a person that we married, or just a lover that, we connected with and we let into our lives, and we thought, oh, this is going to be great. And then all their baggage came to us. All their, being out in the cold, all their issues with money came to us. And we're like, wait, what the heck is going on here? Why is it that where I was once rich and prosperous and powerful, I now am timid and scared and overwhelmed? We have to look at this. We do. It's not going to be, again, something that we want to do, but it's going to be something intrinsically important during this time. And it leads us to our dreams. It leads us to that part of ourselves that we've put in the closet, that we've, locked away, to say, yeah, maybe another day. Maybe another day I'll get to look at you. Or I take out my dreams every now and then just to look at them. Kind of like you take out really pretty jewelry that you don't really have occasion to wear. And you just take it out to look at it and go, oh, that's so pretty. Oh, I'm so glad, I have this piece. And then we put it away for special. This is saying, do not put your dreams away for special, because special will never come. It'll never be special enough. Well, it usually will never be special enough to promote our hearts and our souls and ourselves and what we love. And to say, yeah, it's time. Because nothing is ever perfect. And we are our harshest critics. And so our heart moves us to the Ten of Pentacles, prosperity and success and bounty and abundance and generational wealth coming in. This sense of connection, this sense of bounty leading us forward. And as we embrace this, we embrace who we are, what we love, and what we desire within our life. The Ten of Pentacles is wealth. The Ten of Pentacles is success. And that's how people see us. So we have all this going on inside. And people are going to be like, oh, Gemini, you're fine. You got this. Yeah, you're a little nostalgic. You're going to say, oh, it was better when, or it's going to be like, I'm trying to outrun this shadow of, whomever that spoke negativity over me. But they're going to be like, oh, you still got this. You're still blessed. You're still powerful. You're still prosperous. And yet we have all this internal struggle going on. What we have to look at is the prosperity. What we have to look at is the coming together of a dream, of one dream or another, of the sense of ourselves and our desires and what we want and what we need, and the seeing of us, of this understanding of us, and this blessing of us to guide us forward and to say, there's more to me than meets the eye. And I'm embracing this wealth. And as I embrace this wealth, whether it be financial wealth or something we value as much as money, it gets to trickle through the generations. It doesn't mean that it has to be, that we have children and they have children and they have children. What it means is that we're putting this energy out into the world, and it starts to affect people because they start to say, wow, that was a really great conversation that I had with this person, or wow, just, they were able to listen to me, or they just had this really nice energy to them. And it was just really, really sweet. They helped me, pick out a cantaloupe at the grocery store. I still remember that lady. There was a lady when I was small. Well, not small, but like a teenager. And she helped me pick out a cantaloupe. And she just had the bluest eyes. And she was so nice. And I still think of her every now and then. And we'll be like, oh, like that is generational wealth. She was helping me. And because she helped me, it's like that raised my energy vibration. And so we can see that. We can see that with people. It can be the littlest thing in the whole entire world. And yet it is the most important. Beware of where you let your mind go, of what you think of how you see your blessings and how you see your pitfalls. Let's look at what the moon has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels. Oh, goodness. Okay, this until it's gone. Fantastic. So at our root, we have growth. Hold your vision. And that's what this time brings. It brings growth because we're holding to our vision. We're holding to who we are, to what we want, to what we desire within our lives. It then leads us to the void, right? Which comes through very intensely during this time. The nothingness, this sense of maybe even nihilism. Like what is the perfect? What is the purpose? There we go. Why does it even matter? And we have to be aware of that during this time, because then it leads an end of a tough cycle is approaching. We have this void. We have this intensity. We have this new moon, which, I mean, what is a void other than a new moon? It is that intensity of insight and understanding and that quiet. And it says the end of a tough cycle approaches. The moon brings a nothing. It brings a silence. And the hardest thing for people is silence. You hear that when people interrogate other people. The silence will be what they need to fill. If we can sit in the silence of this moon, if we can sit in the silence of ourselves, that's going to be extraordinary. It moves us to our emotional self. We have resistance. The answers you need are coming. And this is the full moon in Gemini. This is the sense of ourselves coming out fully and strongly and luminously, where we say, I've resisted. I resisted being tried, being tried to be squashed down, tried to be stopped. And the answers I need are coming. It leads us then to discernment. That's so important. Being discerning with the energy we let into our lives, with the people we let into our lives. And then we have here, a new start is coming, the new moon. And the new moon affects us quite profoundly, right? In the public arena, in our lives in general during this time, in our inner self, because we have the void. And it's saying here, what do you want to start anew with? Be discerning with the energy you let into your life, with the way that you are pulled by things like a puppet. Don't lose track of you and what you desire and where you need to be. It moves us to our subconscious Luna message. Be bold and make the first move. Self-love. So through self-love, through the respect and love and caring of ourselves, we are bold and we make the first move. We see ourselves moving forward. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is justice. That's where the discernment comes in. Justice isn't about the white page, the black print, the letter of. It's about being discerning. It's about being just to ourselves. It's about saying, you know what, this is right for me and that isn't. And it's holding to that openly and honestly with integrity and purpose. It leads us then to our subconscious chakra energy, which is life purpose, the throat chakra. We're all about the throat chakra, Gemini. And as we're embracing our words, we embrace ourselves. And we see ourselves moving forward closer and closer to the extraordinary, to the reason why we're here on this earth, to feeling our place within the world as we grow within ourselves, within this direction. Our subconscious rooted message is the devil. It's Capricorn energy. Now, this could be a person, words that tumble through our heads by a Capricorn. But this is also the standards of others, trying to dictate who we are and how we move forward. The devil is connected to the earth. Absolutely. The devil is societal expectations, our own expectations. It's our addictions. It's the way that we've self-medicated, self-coped with, different things that were thrown our way. And how we're saying now, no, that's not right. So it could be harmful ways of coping, with alcohol and with drugs that people don't smile upon, right? We're told we're wrong. But it could also be ways of coping with things. Overeating can also be one of those things where people be like, oh, well, and everybody always has an opinion. But there can also be ways that we've learned to cope with things that got us praise. Oh, you eat so healthy. And if we don't eat healthy, then we feel as if we're losing control, right? Oh my gosh, you exercise so much. But if we don't exercise, we feel as if our life is spinning out of control, or as if we aren't getting that dopamine rush that we need. There could be a myriad of things that we do. Oh, you keep your house so clean. Oh my gosh, you do this. Oh my gosh, you do that. Where people praise us. But it's no longer something that's fun. It's something that has to be done. And that's where the devil comes into things. That's where the bit of chaos, the human chaos, comes into everything. And we have to be mindful of it. We have to be aware of it. And we also have to know our connection to the earth and what we love and what we want, and to move forward in that connection. To say, I'm here, lovingly, powerfully, and purposefully. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And that's the 5 of fire. There's chaos within. In our inner self, there's chaos, doubt, fear. This is 5 people, fighting in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck with wands, with staves. They're hitting each other. And it's like, it started off as fun. It started off as training, and then it got serious. Then the fun was taken out of it. And we have to be mindful of when the fun is taken out of things. When we become defensive and angry and overwhelmed, and just to kind of step back. And to use that time, that acknowledgement of that time, to help transform ourselves. Help to see ourselves embracing this new season, this new self, this new desire that this new moon brings us. Our subconscious emotional self is the King of Swords. That's us. We're not taking any bull. We're moving forward with determination. We can be sharp-tongued, so we have to be mindful about this. But we cut through doubts, fears, and negativity. We come through as a king. The only one higher than the king is coming through as the lovers, which is the absolute essence of who we are and why we're here. The King of Swords cuts through doubts, fears, and negativity, embraces his voice, embraces his mind, knows what he wants, and knows that he needs to get it, that nobody is going to give it to him. And that's going to be us during this time. Yes, we can seem a bit more curt, a bit more blunt than we usually are. But that's because we have a bigger goal in mind. That's because we're heading towards something greater. It moves us to our subconscious, public self. And that's the Eight of Cups. We're walking away from something we once thought we would love. We're walking away and we're saying enough is enough. This path or this thing, I loved it once. Or I thought it would be the best thing ever. And now it's not right for me. And that's okay. And it's okay to say that to ourselves. It's okay to realize, this wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Or I've outgrown that. I always look at the Eight of Cups like trying to shove your foot into shoes that are too small. You can do it, sure. But how painful will it be afterwards? How much will your head hurt and your shoulders hurt and your feet hurt? And just how angry will you be from the pain of it? And that's what we have to look at here. How overwhelmed will we be from pushing ourselves in a direction that isn't right spiritually, emotionally, and honestly with us? All right, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity of this new moon. And we come to it with the power and intensity of our beings. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini, and may you have a blessed new moon.